Hi everyone, welcome to my rapid prototype workshop. So we're going to create a Flask app backend connected to Supabase, and we're going to deploy basically an algorithm where it's Monte Carlo simulation, and I'll explain that later on. But basically, this is a way for developers or startup founders to quickly build their application and get any AI technologies or deep learning models deployed onto the cloud. This is sort of the stack I have used to just get basic ideas and projects up. This was originally created for the Nittany AI Society at Penn State, where I'm an alum of. So I'm going to get started right now and go through just the table of contents, or the, I guess, curriculum here. Before I start, this is just a mini rant for startup founders and people who are like trying to develop their own software company. Build the thing, just build it. So use all the tools and stop wasting time. It's okay to use ChatGPT. It's okay to use GitHub Pilot. It's okay to use YouTube if it just gets your, prototype finish. I've worked with a lot of co-founders. I've worked with a lot of engineers, software engineers, and they'll spend months. They'll spend 6 months, 9 months just getting a basic prototype running, but they never get that core feature that customers are looking for. You wanna finish this in a week, and after this video, you should have a deployed app that you can share with other people, and then develop on every single week, building features and creating that momentum that you need with investors. So I'm going to start with the GitHub repo. If you're not interested in doing a startup, a GitHub repo is a great way to showcase the work you've done. If you're doing a startup, you're not going to open source your repo, of course, but here the first part is going to do a GitHub repo. And then it also shows on people that you did something. So if you're looking to get a job, GitHub and building your portfolio of coding projects or being part of a community is a great way to get out there and become part of that community. All right, so again, this workshop is for very, very basic level programmers, coders, software engineers. This is not where, if you've had 10 projects under your belt, this is definitely not for you. So now, for the rest of the course, we're going to talk about setting up a Flask app for deployment in a Docker container. And then we're going to deploy it via Google Cloud. And then we're going to call some stock market data with a AlphaVantage API. And that's what that will look like in the code. And then we're going to pass that data into Monte Carlo simulation, which is just an algorithm and basic, a little bit of advanced statistics. And you'll get this like a return on investment chart, and kind of like simulating all the possibilities of doing what's called dollar cost averaging. Basically, like, you're kind of rolling a roulette wheel over and over again to see all the possibilities in the future, and like writing that down. And that's what this graph is. It's like, oh, if I invest, I could, get this ROI or get a negative return, which this chart is a little faulty. And then the next session is adding like a machine learning or a model. We're going to take the roulette wheel and basically put it into the Flask app. And then after we've put it in the Flask app here, we're going to create some UI inputs to test the algorithm, make sure that it works on deployment and that we're serving up the results as soon as possible. And then finally, we're going to store results, like any inputs we get from the front end, into a database. And then anytime the machine learning algorithm runs, you can also just store that in the database and kind of build, user workflows. And this is a great way fundamentally to start for free. You get 300 Google credits, and Supabase is free if you, actively use your account. But they're relatively cheap too. If you have a full-time job, it only costs about 25 bucks a month, and other storage and API calls. So you should really focus on the UX design of the app. So this is what the course entails, and every section will be a video that corresponds with the slide.